couple of years. And currently, Prabhuji, seeing the entire Indian society, has dedicated his life for teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And Prabhuji has produced a very special booklet. It's called the Value Education Booklet. All over India, more than 10 lakh students are getting an opportunity to read the Bhagavad Gita by his grace. Prabhuji has also been taking sessions for the corporates of Microsoft and many other wonderful companies, and he also is closely involved in preaching in multiple colleges like PES University, Indian Institute of Science, and many other prestigious institutions like Armies, etc. It's our great fortune that today, on this auspicious occasion of the New Year, we have the fortune to hear from Prabhuji. So over to His Grace Vrajakrishna Prabhuji for this wonderful session of today.
Hare Krishna. So I welcome you for this first day of the Gita course, that is 1st January of 2025, making your day a great success and this year with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So before starting anything, we begin with prayers to invoke the mercy of the Lord to understand this knowledge. Om Agyantimarandhasya Jnanam Janashalakaya Chakshumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाशादेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरितसे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So beginning with this first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and the beginning we'll discuss a little bit about introduction to Bhagavad Gita. What is Bhagavad Gita? How Bhagavad Gita will benefit us? This 18 days, how we're going to go through, and the setting the scene for Bhagavad Gita. So the starting. So we are the course name. I'll just introduce the course name is Gita Rahasya. And why is Gita Rahasya? I'll explain it. But first time it was given by His Grace Radhesham Prabhu in 2020 during COVID time. So I thought to present the same theme over here. So from him, I have learned many things. And all credit for all this work goes to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is founder for International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So begin with, a question may come, why should we learn Bhagavad Gita? Right? So why we should be learning Bhagavad Gita? So this verse comes in Gita Mahatmya, written by Shishpa Shankaracharya, and says, Sar Upanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopal Nandana Partho Vassa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gita Amrit Mahat. So you take all the Upanishads. So yes, we want to know what is there in our Vedas, what is there in our scriptures. हमारे शास्त्रों में क्या है, हम ये जानना चाहते हैं. तो उसका जो, लेकिन वेद बहुत बड़े हैं, पुराण जो हैं बहुत सारे हैं, लेकिन उन सब का जो सार है वो उपनिषदों में दिया हुआ है. And total there are 108 Upanishad. And Shri Krishna is like a milkman who has made this Upanishad like cow and milking and giving it to his calf Arjuna. So Arjuna is a calf. Partho Vassa Sudhir Bhokta. And Dugdham, and the milk is Gita Amrita Mahal there. So we want to know all the scriptures, but we do not have time to learn all the scriptures. So what Lord Shri Krishna has done, the essence of all the scriptures in the Upanishad and all the 108 Upanishads, Lord Krishna had taken the wealth of knowledge in the form of milk and given to Arjuna. And after the calf drinks the milk, the same milk remained for all of us to drink. And that's how this Gita Amritam is available for every one of us, which we can take benefit from this Gita Amrit, right? So this is the benefit of Bhagavad Gita. I like to tell a story about Bhagavad Gita, how Bhagavad Gita brings transformational life. So one time in France, there was a person who was going in a train, and one devotee Mataji was distributing Bhagavad Gita. And while she was distributing Bhagavad Gita, she gave to that man, please take this Bhagavad Gita. But he was a wealthy, rich person, but he became very annoyed. He took the Gita, he pushed that Mataji, and she fell from the train. And train was about to begin, and he tore the Bhagavad Gita and threw on the ground. But as one of the servants folded the Gita, understood is a holy book, and he brought it home. After some time, this rich person's home, his wife died, and his beti and his daughter ran away with the boy. And he was completely alone, thinking what to do, what is the purpose of life, should I end my life? And then he thought, okay, let me turn to my holy scriptures. And when he went to his puja room, he found this Bhagavad Gita torn apart. And he started reading the knowledge. And he saw, I'm not this body, I'm soul. There's a life exists after death. And he got so much hope. After that, he saw the address of the temple and he started coming to ISKCON temple. And he started rendering service and he became a devotee. And after some time, he saw that Mataji in a Rath Yatra. And he paid obeisances to that girl whom he had offended. So how is there always a life transforming? Whenever one comes in touch with Bhagavad Gita, this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, the life transforms. And this life transforming experience we can get when we are perseverant coming all the 18 days or whatever you're able to come, because the way Gita builds up systematically, the Bhagavad Gita builds up is something very amazing. And this is a very amazing, again, by Shankaracharya, Ekam Shastram Devki Putra Gita. Let there be one scripture, Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, the Gita of Devki Putra Shri Krishna. Let there be one Deva, Devki Putra. Let there be one mantra by chanting of his names, Hare Krishna. And let there be one karma, service to him. So now Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters and 700 shlokas, right? Now, can anyone say what are the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita talk about? You can write your answers in the chat. I'm looking towards it, right? So we want to make it more interactive, so you can also participate. So what the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita talks about it? You can write in the chat your answers. Okay, the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, so first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita talk about Karma Yoga. The middle 6 chapters, what the middle 6 chapters talk about? In essence, Bhakti Yoga. And the last 6 chapters talk about Jnana Yoga of Bhagavad Gita. So if you see here, it talks about the first 6 chapters, the lower covering of the box, the middle 6 and the last 6 chapters, the jewel studded lid of the box. But the middle chapters is the jewel inside the jewel box. So Krishna wanted to give the Bhakti Yoga between Karma Yoga and the Jnana Yoga, and that's the Bhagavad Gita. And whole Bhagavad Gita is great, sweet nectar. Now, in Bhagavad Gita, there are 5 main subjects. Now, when you want to know, okay, what does the study of Bhagavad Gita teaches us? So it has 5 main subjects: the Bhagavad Gita, the Jiva, the living entities, the Prakriti, the nature, the Karma, Ishvara, and Kala. So let us look at what are the 5 subjects of Bhagavad Gita. Now, what is the modern understanding about who we are? We are material bodies, finish the time of death. Oh God, there is some supreme power which we do not know. Karma, people don't understand why people after doing bad to others flourishing, and those who do good, they suffer. And nature is working on itself without any signs. And time, human civilization started a few thousand years before. But understanding these 5 subjects of Gita, अगर हम समझते हैं कि हम कौन हैं, तो हम सच में खुश रह सकते हैं. और हम अगर कभी घर कुछ प्रॉब्लम होता है, कोविड टाइम व्हेन पीपल फेस प्रॉब्लम दे ऑल वेंट टू होम. सो मोर इम्पोर्टेंट हु एम आई, व्हाट इज इम्पोर्टेंट, मैं किसको बिलोंग करता हूँ. एंड जब एक जीव को पता लगता है कि इस जीवन में भगवान है जो हमेशा मेरे साथ है, और मैं जानता हूँ वो भगवान कौन है, तो लाइफ में यू फील सो सो डिफरेंट इन योर लाइफ. आपका जीवन बदल जाता है जब हमको अपना संबंध भगवान से समझ में आता है. एंड दैट्स व्हाट अर्जुना फेल्ट बाय द एंड ऑफ भगवत गीता. हम अपनी नेचर कैसे चेंज कर सकते हैं? मैं गुस्सा नहीं होना चाहता हूँ, फिर भी मुझको गुस्सा आ जाता है. तो ये भी हम भगवत गीता में सीखेंगे. हमारे जीवन में बुरा क्यों हो रहा है? मैंने तो कभी किसी के साथ बुरा नहीं किया, फिर मेरे साथ बुरा क्यों हो रहा है? तो कर्म, और इस कर्म से कैसे उठें, ये गीता में बताया गया है. और काल चक्र जो है, ये काल, मृत्यु के बाद क्या होता है, इस जीवन में डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कालों में क्या होता है, तीन गुणों का कैसे प्रभाव होता है, ये सब काल के द्वारा बताया गया है. तो ये 5 सब्जेक्ट जब हम भगवत गीता में पढ़ते हैं, हमको बहुत फायदा मिलेगा. और जीवन के हर पल को हम एक नई दृष्टि से देख सकते हैं, एक शास्त्र दृष्टि से हम देख सकते हैं जीवन के हर पल को. तो अभी भगवत गीता में क्या है, कि भगवत गीता का क्या रुचि बना. तो जैसे हम, बिफोर वी गो टू द फर्स्ट चैप्टर, वी वांट टू नो द बैकग्राउंड ऑफ भगवत गीता. सो एज ऑल ऑफ यू नो दैट the whole incident began in the Kuru Sabha. See, before the Kuru Sabha also, Duryodhana did not like the Pandavas to flourish. He also yeah. So he also, Duryodhana wanted to eliminate the Pandavas. And because Duryodhana wanted to eliminate the Pandavas, what happened is he first fed poison to Bhima. He made the Pandavas go into the Varnavrata, and he put the fire into the hall, the place made of black there. Then, in the last time when Pandavas did Rajswa Yagya, Draupadi laughed upon Duryodhana. And Duryodhana was envious of the prosperity of Yudhishthir and the Pandavas. So finally, he put a dice game. In dice game, he won Yudhishthir, he won Draupadi, and that time he tried to strip naked Draupadi and made Pandavas bereft of all wealth. And finally, it was settled that Pandavas will go for 13 years of exile, so 12 years of exile and last 1 year of Pandavas. So Pandavas suffered those problems for 13 years. After 13 years, when they came back, Duryodhana said, nothing going, I'm not going to give back anything back to them. Then Yudhishthira did not want a war. He asked Krishna, please, you go as a peace messenger. Shri Krishna comes as a peace messenger. And when he comes as a peace messenger, Lord Shri Krishna, he asked Duryodhana. But before, so Dhritarashtra had told Duryodhana to be pacified, but Duryodhana was very agitated. And Lord Krishna made a proposal to Dhritarashtra that give Pandavas the rightful kingdom. And Duryodhana said, no, I will not give any share to them. Then Krishna requested, give at least 5 villages to the Pandavas. Why? Because the Pandavas are Kshatriyas. They also need to rule. They also need this. And Duryodhana replied, I won't give a land worth even the tip of the needle. That means I don't want to see the Pandavas. I want to eliminate the Pandavas, then only I can be happy. And that time, Lord Shri Krishna told, yes, now the war has to happen. Now, many people may say that many people, many lakhs of people died in the Mahabharata war. Lord Krishna had stopped the war, could have stopped the war, and Pandavas would have gone again to Banvas. But it was not just a question of the Pandavas getting their kingdom back. It was a question of righteousness, dharma. It was a question of dharma and adharma. So Yudhishthira was also talking about that why we need a kingdom, we can go, why to have the war. But Krishna said when Duryodhana was ruling in the parliament, in the whole sabha of the Kurus, a woman is stripped naked. There was an injustice done to the Pandavas. So yatha raja tatha praja. If Duryodhana is doing like this, the whole praja will do like this. But if Yudhishthira becomes a king, even Yudhishthira will take care of the widows and establish the dharma. And before, when Duryodhana was ruling, it was the age of Kali Yuga came. What the age today, that age of Kali Yuga came in Dwapar Yuga itself. But when Yudhishthira started ruling, the Sati Yuga came. So it was for the establishment of dharma that Lord Krishna had had this war gone. Then another characteristic we see on the side of the Pandavas, the Duryodhana. So Duryodhana, though even when Lord Krishna had gone for peace there, and when Lord Krishna told Dhritarashtra that the Duryodhana is the cause for the war and make your whole dynasty die, Duryodhana became so much agitated, he called all the soldiers, "Oh, soldiers, come, come, come," and tried to capture Lord Krishna. See, Lord Krishna had gone to Hastinapur, and Duryodhana is trying to catch Lord Shri Krishna. And while Lord Shri Krishna is catching, and that time Lord Krishna showed another type of universal form. He showed one universal form in the 11th chapter of Gita. And at the time of Hastinapur, also Krishna showed another type of universal form. Even after seeing that universal form, Duryodhana could not understand who is Lord Krishna. So therefore, questions come, what is the basic qualification required to understand Bhagavad Gita? So that we have to understand the basic qualification to understand Bhagavad Gita. And this is this qualification what Krishna is talking to Arjuna. Sa in Bhagavad Gita chapter 4. Sa evayam maite adya yoga prokta puratanaha. Bhakto asime sakha cheti rahasyam hi etat uttamam. So rahasyam. For Arjuna, I'm giving you this knowledge. As some, there was a question whether this talk class is in English or Hindi. So actually, this class isn't prominently in English, but there was a request from some of the Hindi devotees that please add somewhat of little bit Hindi in between. So I'm adding Hindi in between, so those people who are Hindi speaking, they also can have the flow with us, right? Okay. सो ये रहस्य क्यों है? बिकॉज भगवान कृष्ण अर्जुन को बोलते हैं, अर्जुन मैं तुमको ये साइंस क्यों बता रहा हूं? क्योंकि तुम मेरे दोस्त हो, तुम मेरे डिवोटी हो और मेरे एक फ्रेंड हो करके। तो इसलिए आज मैं बताता हूं। और ये क्या है? रहस्य है। देखिए, गीता बहुत लोग पढ़ते हैं, लेकिन सबके समझ में भगवत गीता नहीं आती है। क्यों? ये एक बहुत बड़ा रहस्य है। टू अंडरस्टैंड भगवत गीता वी नीड अ सर्टेन लेवल ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस, and that's how we can understand Bhagavad Gita. And what is the secret of consciousness? Let's churn about. So one of the important things we need to learn about Bhagavad Gita is, Sri Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So according to the statements of Bhagavad Gita or the statements of Arjuna, the person who is trying to understand the Bhagavad Gita, we should at least theoretically accept Shri Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. And with that submissive spirit, we can understand the Bhagavad Gita. So the lesson, so this proper writes in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita. The first lesson came, okay, we may not be convinced that Krishna is Supreme Lord, but theoretically accept Krishna's Supreme Personality of Godhead, because Vyasadeva is saying, Shri Bhagwan Upacha. The Vyasadeva, जिन्होंने ये भगवत गीता को लिखा है, महाभारत का पाठ है। भगवत गीता जो है महाभारत का पाठ है, लेकिन ऐसे गीता उपनिषद क्योंकि भगवान के मुख से स्वयं निकला है, इसलिए उसे उपनिषद भी बोला जाता है, और ये सारे उपनिषदों का सार है। लेकिन अगर आप इसमें हम देखेंगे कि भगवान उवाचा, व्यासदेव हमेशा क्या लिखे हैं? अर्जुन उवाचा श्री भगवान उवाचा। जब भगवान कृष्ण बोल रहे हैं तो वहां पे श्री भगवान उवाचा है। तो अगर हमें भगवत गीता को समझना है तो एक इंपॉर्टेंट बात है कि हमें ये समझना पड़ेगा कि भगवान श्री कृष्ण जो है ईश्वर हैं। इस बात को हमको समझना पड़ेगा। अब इसमें क्वेश्चन है कैसे? तो ये एक वर्स आता है, ईश्वर परमा कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंद सर्व कारण कारणम। ईश्वर परमा कृष्ण, जो भगवान कृष्ण है परम परम ईश्वर है, सबसे बड़े सब ईश्वरों में ईश्वर है। सच्चिद आनंद विग्रह, उनका शरीर हमारी तरह भौतिक नहीं है, बस सच्चिद आनंद स्वरूप है, पूरा दिव्य है, आध्यात्मिक है, और वो सब कारणों के कारण है। तो लोग पूछते हैं, अरे इफ गॉड हैज क्रिएटेड एवरीथिंग देन हु क्रिएटेड गॉड? But actually, by definition, God means the cause of all causes. Nobody can create God. The conception of creation, that something is created and destroyed, comes from God. So God creates time and time creates everything. So God is beyond time. God creates time. See, Sa Ikshita, God glances on this Prakriti and everything begins. So by definition, God is the cause of all causes. He's ever existing. There is no point at somebody creating him, right? And therefore, is Anadir Adir Govinda. And Lord's pastimes are transcendental. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter again, Janam karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma namame naeti mameti sarjunaha. So one who knows that my birth and activities are divine, मेरे जन्म और कर्म जो है दिव्य है, जो इस बात को जानता है वो इस दुनिया में पुनः जन्म नहीं लेता है. वो कहाँ आ जाता है अर्जुन? मेरे पास आ जाता है. So this is a beauty that how Krishna's birth and pastimes are transcendental. So how Lord Krishna took birth, how he went to Gokul, how he was carried in the night, and one time sometimes people think that somebody can become God by meditation, but that's not the case. Lord Krishna showed how from childhood his godhood. When he was 6 days old, he killed Putna. When he was few years old, one day he ate mud. And Mother Yashoda said, "Oh, you ate mud? Show your mouth." And Krishna opened the mouth. But though he ate mud, but there was no mud. What was there? Whole universe. Mother Yashoda saw the whole universe in the mouth of Sri Krishna. And in the mouth, not only the universe is there, Yashoda saw herself also. Right? Yashoda saw herself also. And this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And many people think, like one time Srila Prabhupada was telling, if you go to some Gita society, कोई गीता का हो रहा हो और वहां पे देखोगे सिर्फ एक कैंडल जल रही है, there is nothing else. But if you ask, you go to any political meeting also, there will be photo of Gandhi ji, Nehru ji, or different other politicians. So when we are talking about Bhagavad Gita, there should be photo of Krishna and Arjuna, isn't it? How they can just meditate on candle. So many times people think that doesn't have form, but Bhagavad Gita talks about God has a form. God has a spiritual form. And this is collaborated. Arjuna clarifies this doubt in the 12th chapter of Gita. Or Lord, worship you in your form is better, or worship on something impersonal is better. And Krishna clearly replied that worship on my form is the best thing. And Krishna's greatness. Now, another thing we can see, anything we're attracted in this world, anything we get attracted in this world because of 6 opulences. Somebody is wealthy, we get attracted to him. Somebody is beautiful, we get attracted. Somebody is knowledgeable, we get attracted. Somebody is strong, we get attracted. Somebody has a great fame, we get attracted. Somebody has renunciation, we get attracted. Like Ramanacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were great renounced sages and we get attracted by them. So in this world, when somebody possesses this 6 opulence, we get attracted. But a question comes, who possesses them in full? And that's where comes the definition of Bhagwan. Bhagwan means Bhag, who have the 6 opulences in full is called God. Bhagavan. जो opulences को possess करता है, one who possesses the opulences is called Bhagavan. Right? Bhaga opulences by one who possesses Bhagavan, the possessor of opulence. So now, if you see, Lord Shri Krishna possesses the greatest beauty. Nobody is beautiful. In fact, when he sees his beauty, he gets enchanted by it. He's called Madan Mohan, who enchants Cupid. Cupid enchants everybody in this world, and Lord Krishna enchants even Cupid. Now, which is the oldest book of knowledge present on planet Earth? If you say that is the Vedas, and Vedas is speaking by Lord Narayan. And out of Vedas, also the most popular today is Bhagavad Gita, and spoken by Lord Krishna. So he is the source of all knowledge. Nobody is famous for stealing butter, but Lord Krishna stole butter 5,000 years before, still is famous. Then the wealth. The wealth of Vaikuntha is the topmost wealth. And his renunciation, though he's such a great personality, he's becoming a charioteer of Arjuna. And that is the greatness of the Lord. So we may call somebody Lakpati, Arapati, Kharapati, but only Lord Narayan is Lakshmi.
Emanates all the three worlds, both spiritual and mundane. Ha! Everything rests in me, Arjuna, just as you see pearls hang upon a thread.
Yeah. And Lord says, if somebody understands that I am the enjoyer, I am the proprietor, the controller, and my well-wishing friend, then person attain peace. This is called peace formula. And Lord Krishna's supremacy is accepted by all acharyas, be it Vyasdev, be it all the great sages, even Madhvacharya, Sri Ramanujacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, have all come from the Krishna as that supreme person. So on the basis of Bhagavad Gita, we understand Krishna is the supreme person, and that's how we can take much more benefit of Bhagavad Gita. Right? Now we're starting the chapter 1. Right? So the 18 chapters of Gita, the first chapter I told is Karma Yoga, talk about how to work in this world. Chapter 7 to 12 talk about how to work for Krishna. And 13 to 18 learn to work for Krishna while living in this world. And therefore, Bhagavad Gita doesn't teach renunciation, it teaches devotion, work and devotion. How to utilize everything in life, keeping Krishna in the center. So all our metal qualifications are compared to zeros, right? If I have one metal qualification, 1 0. If I have 10 metal qualifications, 10 zeros. And putting Krishna in center, putting God in center is that one. You put 1 before 1 0, it becomes 10. You put 1 before 2 0, it becomes 100. You put 1 above 5, it becomes 1 lakh. So you put Krishna in your life with all the duties we have, all our duties also become valuable. And that's what the message of Bhagavad Gita is. Not that Arjuna has to learn his duties. Arjuna was fearful of the fight, as we'll see, but Krishna is talking to him about how to work in devotion. And that's what, as the chapters unfolds, we will understand the technicalities of Bhagavad Gita and so many understandings. Okay, so we all will recite this. This is the first verse of Bhagavad Gita which we will recite, right? Dhritarashtra uvacha धर्म क्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे संवेतायुयुत्सवः मामका पांडवश्चैव किम आकुर्वत संजय. So Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjay. So Sanjay was giving the divine vision by Srila Vyasadeva. And whatever was happening in the battlefield, Sanjay was seeing it like a TV. Like you see TV on Rath Yatra on TV, and then you're seeing what's happening in the Rath Yatra. The same way the Sanjay was seeing what is happening in the battlefield like the Rath Yatra, like a television. And he's narrating to Dhritarashtra. He's saying, and Dhritarashtra is asking, oh Sanjay, in Dharam Kshetra, the Kurukshetra was the place of the Kurus, which was the Dharam Kshetra. So he's asking, oh Sanjay, in the Dharam Kshetra, which is Kurukshetra, Samveta Yutsavaha. Yutsavaha, all people who are gathered, Mamaka. Mamaka means Mera, Mere Bache. Pandava means Pandu ke Bache. Kima Kurvata Sanjay. What do they do? Now, just ask a question. If two people are coming for battlefield, do you ask a question, what did they do in battlefield? Right? Is a question to ask. Naturally, they will fight. But he had a doubt in his mind. What a doubt in his mind? That's the 4 doubts were in the mind of Dhritarashtra. And those 4 things was he was desirous. वो चाहते थे, धृतराष्ट्र का एक ही अटैचमेंट था कि वो थ्रोन को पाना चाहते थे. अगर वो, क्योंकि वो चाहते थे अगर मेरा बेटा दुर्योधन प्रिंस बना रहेगा तो थ्रोन भी गद्दी मेरे पास रहेगी, युधिष्ठिर राजा बन जाएंगे तो मेरे से थ्रोन छिन जाएगी. और इस कारण से वो अपने अटैचमेंट से हमेशा डील करते रहे. तो ही वॉज डिजायरस ऑफ थ्रोन. तो वो चाहते थे कि रिजल्ट आ जाए, उनको थ्रोन मिल जाए. ही वॉज डाउटफुल बिकॉज कुरुक्षेत्र वॉज ए होली प्लेस. तो कुरुक्षेत्र होली प्लेस था, तो हो सकता है पांडवों का मन बदल जाए. ये पुरुष का मन बदल जाए and the war may not happen. He was fearful that because it's a dharma kshetra and the Pandavas are on the side of dharma, they will win. And he was hopeful that my sons may come victorious. So these are the 4 reasons Dhritarashtra asked this question to Sanjay. And see the mentality of Dhritarashtra because of this I and mine, मेरे और पांडु के. इस कारण से life में so many problems goes by. Now, further verses what we see. So lesson 1 what we saw, okay, theoretically understand Krishna's God. Now the lesson 2 which we learn is being on God's side is million times superior to one's own political diplomacy and mental expertise. And this what is being spoken in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Now if you see the no transcendental knowledge has been spoken in the first chapter. First chapter of Gita is all more about first chapter of Gita is all about the introduction, setting the scene. That what was the situation happening on Kurukshetra, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, that everybody is fighting. And see, very amazingly, the Mahabharata brings the whole story to the verge of fighting between the Kurus and the Pandavas. And on the battlefield, somebody is going. If suppose the India-Pak war is happening, do you expect some lesson, some knowledge is spoken on that war field? It's very unexpected. So what were the situations leading the spoken to, so the Bhagavad Gita came out, that was the first chapter is talking about. The war is happening, here is Arjuna, and here the Pandavas, and here the Kauravas. They all assemble to fight. So Kauravas, who has a more army? 11 Akshonis was the army of the Kauravas. 7 Akshoni was the Sena of the Pandavas. Who had more army? Kauravas. Who had more power? Kauravas. Because Bhishma was the most powerful warrior present on planet Earth at that time. He had so much power, he could alone fight with the demigods and the demons. That much was the power of Bhishma Dev. And here are the 5 Pandavas. And they have Krishna in their support. You know what happened? When after the war was declared, what will happen? So Duryodhana wanted that Krishna is a great powerful ally of Pandavas. Let me go and ask Krishna on my side. And by the time Arjuna also went. So by an Arjuna went, he saw Duryodhana already reached. Duryodhana पहले वहां पे पहुंच गए थे. अब दुर्योधन जो जाके बैठ गए थे भगवान के सिर के सामने बैठ गए. और अर्जुन कहाँ बैठे? भगवान के पैरों में बैठे. उस वक्त भगवान शयन कर रहे थे. जो कि दुर्योधन पहले पहुंचे थे, अर्जुन बाद में पहुंचे थे. लेकिन दुर्योधन जाके भगवान के सिर के पास पहुंचते हैं और अर्जुन भगवान के पैर के पास पहुंचते हैं. अब जब भगवान उठते हैं तो सोचिए भगवान ने किसको देखा पहले? अर्जुन को. जब पैरों के पास होता है भगवान उसको देखते हैं. इसलिए हम भगवान के चरणों में गिरते हैं, भगवान को दंडवत करते हैं, भगवान को प्रणाम करते हैं. क्योंकि जो भगवान के चरणों में गिरता है उसको भगवान पहले देखते हैं. तो भगवान ने पहले अर्जुन को देखा. पर दुर्योधन ने बोला भगवान पहले मैं आया हूँ और हम दोनों आपका सपोर्ट चाहते हैं. तब कृष्ण ने एक शर्त रखी. Because Krishna wanted to pacify both. Krishna wanted to show the both. So Krishna kept a point. One side, I will be there without any weapons. I won't lift any weapon without. Other side, my Narayani Sena is there. And that Narayani Sena was the most powerful army on planet Earth. It has never taken any defeat. That was Narayani Sena of Lord Krishna. Now just think what we will ask if this option given to us in that situation. And the first choice was of Arjuna. So can you guess what Arjuna asked from Lord Shri Krishna? You can write in the chat your answers, your guesses. Did he ask the Narayani Sena or for Krishna? Yes. I think Shikha, Mataji, Shishi Dave, Kritik, Anil Prabhu, Rekha, Mansa Priya, Sita. Yeah. So all have said, yes, Krishna. So Arjuna asked for Krishna. And Duryodhana was so happy. This Arjuna is a sentimental fool. I will take the Narayani Sena. And Duryodhana took Narayani Sena and went away. And Krishna is asking, oh Arjuna, why did you ask me? You would have asked me Narayani Sena. And Arjuna said, Lord, no, I want you. Because wherever you are, that's where the victory will happen. Now, that's the difference between the Pandavas and the Kauravas, and which we have many lessons to learn in our life. The Pandava, the Yudhishthir, when he went the battlefield, he sent the first arrow to Bhishma and Drona. What was that arrow? Pranam. And they replied, Vijay Bhava. So Yudhishthir, even on the battlefield, he's going to fight with Bhishma and Drona. He's taking the blessing, and the blessing is you win. So this is character approach, right? But now you see on the opposite side, Duryodhana, he was a very expert manager, very expert in management, not in ethics, not in culture there. And you can see that how it is doing. Then Duryodhana comes to Dronacharya and says, Oh Dronacharya, Pashyatam Pandu Putrana. Oh Dronacharya, you are our military general. See the Pandus. Acharya Mahati Mahachamam. Or kitna bada, they have taken such a big army. They have Draupad Putrina. Tava Shishera Dhimata. Now this is called sarcastic speech. He said, Draupad Putrena Drishtadhyum Tava Shishera Dhumata. He's your Shishya. So what had happened? Drishtadhyum was actually born to Draupad to kill Dronacharya. Now the beauty is the Dronacharya know that he's born to kill me. The Drishtadhyum comes to take knowledge of Dronacharya, and Drona says, I will give him knowledge. So Duryodhana is pointing out you had been liberal in giving him knowledge. Now he is only sitting here. He's only there. Shishyan Dhimata. So he's pointing out the fault of Dronacharya. He said, you were relaxed that time, not be relaxed now in the war. So it's very expertly putting. And now Duryodhana fear. Now he saw he was very fearful internally. And he wanted to incite I said Draupad. Because Draupad was a rival of Dronacharya. So he wanted to incite. And then talk about, oh, there are powerful fighters like Tishkit, Chekitan, Kashiraj, Purujit, Kunti Bhoj, and Shapya. But our army is unlimited. Otherwise, their army is unlimited, protected by Bhima. And then he says, then he said, personality like you, Bhishma, are always victorious and better. He's motivating them. It's all strategy to motivate. And he says, all of you are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. So think about it. He wants everybody to die for his sake. On the other hand, if some soldier died, Yudhishthir feels so remorse, oh, because of me only so many people died. But Duryodhana is feeling happy that all of you have assembled here to die for me. And it was the obstinacy of Duryodhana due to which he has put everyone on the wall. And our strength is immeasurable. And now to give special respect to Bhishma, I said, it's perfectly protected by Bhishma. But others should not feel neglected. They said, oh, you all should also protect Bhishma. So that was a political diplomacy of Duryodhana. He was expert. But Pandavas had character. So if we see, so one who is on the side of God, he wins. And that's why Krishna wanted to show even him. See, Bhishma also was a devotee of the Lord. But Krishna wanted to show that even a great warrior like Bhishma is on the other side. He cannot win if he's fighting on the side of a dharma. But the Pandavas, they are fighting on the side of Krishna. Though their strength was less, but by the mercy of the God they win. So sometimes when situations happen in our life, we may feel, अरे बुरे बन जाते तो ज़्यादा अच्छा होता था, अच्छे बन के बहुत परेशानी झेलो, right? But if you see on a long run, a person who is following the virtue, following the dharma, he will always be victorious. Kamsa, he captured all of his relatives. So at one point of time, Kamsa was victorious. He was following a demonic dharma. But what happened? In a moment, Krishna killed Kamsa. All his demonic nature was finished. And all the dharmic yadus, Krishna gave them the full. Krishna gave all the yadus the chance to be Krishna conscious. There to be there. So sometimes because the nature of Kali Yuga, it may appear that okay, we are righteous, we are doing so many things, still problems are coming to us. हम अच्छे लोग हैं, फिर भी हमारे साथ ही बुरा होता है, हम भी बुरे बन जाते हैं. No, we should have a right thing on God's side and do things what way we can serve God better. And then over a period of time, we'll see, over a period of time, you'll see how the Lord will also favor us. Now, lesson 3, which we learned from the first chapter. Where there is Krishna, there is always victory. In fact, the conclusion of Krishna of Bhagavad Gita at the end, Yat Yogeshwara Krishna Partho Dhanudhana Shi Vijaya. So there will be Vijaya. Now, what has happened? Bhishma, they blow his conch shell. But when the Pandavas blow their conch shell, Krishna blew the Panjanya conch shell. Right? See, whatever we are learning, you will also have a quiz at the end of the thing. So one of the questions in the quiz is, what are the conch shell of Shri Krishna? So name is Panjanya. So learn all the things very nicely. Learn all the things. And in fact, if your video is off, it's more focus and attentive hearing when the video is off, and the more communication is when the video is on, you are more able to communicate. And you also see by the speaker that also makes you more attentive when your video is on while the Zoom sessions are going on. It helps us to assimilate better, and you will have a quiz at the end by which you are able to at the end you will have a quiz so that it helps you to assimilate every chapter nicely. So make this whole package program in a nice way that not just you're to hearing, but there's at the same time learning. आपका learning भी हो रहा है, आपको गीता पढ़ने का भी मौका मिलेगा, and you can refer to, and whatever we are learning from Bhagavad Gita as it is, by Srila Prabhupada, and also some of the commentaries of the acharyas there. So आप पूरा flow समझ सकते हैं भगवद गीता के 18 दिन में. तो इसको थोड़ा हम सीरियसली लेंगे, इसको we will do it nicely, and you will feel a great transformation in our life. Just learning the 18 chapters of Gita. It's one day you're giving, and it's filled have a thing. And this course is for devotees and as well as for those who are newcomers. For devotees, they learn the flow, and for newcomers, they learn the philosophy what's there in Gita. That's how this course is being designed. But it requires a patience day after day. It's not easy to give for 18 days, one hour. But it can bring a lot of transformation in our life if we just be patient, just try to do it nicely. It will help us to grow. And especially if you have a focus sitting and hearing with a possible videos on, but at least sitting and hearing with a focused mind, you will be able to assimilate more in the sessions of Gita. And I appreciate many of the devotees, I'm able to see them. They are very focusedly hearing this lectures, and they are like, you can see those who are videos are on. Okay, so coming to the point, yeah. So Krishna blew the Panjanya. When Krishna blowed, Arjuna blowed, Yudhishthira blowed, and Bhima blowed, everybody's of Kuru's army heart was shattered. So one way the shatter was, it was such a loud sound that they got shattered. Another meaning is it was so subtly producing fear, and bam, they understood victory with the other Pandavas. So the Kuru's heart got shattered because their conch shell were divine. Krishna blowed a divine conch shell there. So that is the sign of victory. The other sign of victory is, yeah, there was Hanumanji sitting on the flag of Arjuna. It's a very amazing pastime that how Hanumanji came on the flag of Arjuna. So while during the time of Vanvas, when Arjuna had gone to heaven, Bhima had gone to the upper Himalayas. And while he was going more and more, Bhima was going more and more the upper Himalayas. He actually, and Bhima was quite, powerful and was quite proud of his strength. And he was going above, and there one big monkey was there. And he seemed to relax position. And Bhima said, remove your tail. He said, I'm very tired, you remove the tail. And Bhima trying to catch the tail, but is not able to pull the train. And then he understood is something different. And then he told, I'm Hanuman. And Hanumanji was very happy to meet Bhima because they both are Vayuputra. And that time Bhima, Hanumanji benedicted that when the war will happen, I will come on the chariot of Arjuna and add my war cries. And with that war cries only, people will get very much shattered. And the war cry goes that bring the enthusiasm of people and that take away the enthusiasm of people. So that war cries I will bring. That's what Bhima Hanumanji told. So that was a sign of victory. That Hanumanji himself on the side of the Pandavas. And in fact, the horses and Lord Krishna, who is Madhava, the husband of goddess of fortune, is on the side of Krishna, on the side of Arjuna. There. If fortune only sitting on one side, what is the possibility of another person's victory? So when we have Lord Krishna in our life, when we add Krishna in our life, you will see our life will become much better, peaceful. We'll have a clarity in our life. Why? Because when we connect to Krishna consciousness, we come to Sattva we come to mode of goodness. And by inspiration of Lord, we start getting clarity what we should do in life, what is the purpose of life. And we do all our duties with that clarity. And slowly, slowly we'll see for little things which irritate us. We said that is chota cheez usko jaane. It's a small thing, let it go. We learn this. Otherwise, we hold small things, make it very big, and go again and again, round corner, relationship problems, mental problems, and due to that, health problems, then children problem. So many problems get combined with it. But when we come to Krishna, we understand, let it go. Let my life be focused. Let my life go ahead. And we feel a better us. Feel a better us. I remember one time it's 20 years back in 2004, I had a fight with my roommate. It was a verbal fight, and I decided I will not talk with him. Then I went with devotees to learn Bhagavad Gita, and we had a lot of kirtans. And when I came back, I said, hey, why I have any problem with him? And I start talking. So the heart transformations happens automatically when you are with devotees, when you are hearing Gita, when you're doing lots Gita, and that transformations really can change different aspects of our life with it and brings us closer to God. The more we closer to God, more the positivity we feel in our life, more the negativity goes away. See, man changa to katati mein ganga. Agar it's where our mind associates with. That's how we feel. So tomorrow we're going to discuss about what is mind, how mind takes us to positivity, how the mind talks to negativity, what is soul. So tomorrow's session is something very important where we're actually going to begin the real knowledge what Lord Krishna is giving there in a more understandable and a different way. So lesson 4 is now why did the great hero and Krishna devotee Arjuna put his bow down refusing to fight? Now Krishna is very amazing. Krishna is very amazing. Arjuna said, O Lord, O Achyuta, Senapati Moru Madhya. Take mine. I want to see. Arjuna wanted to see. I want to see who all have come to fight. Krishna knew Arjuna's weakness. He took Arjuna right directly in front of Bhishma and Drona. Krishna took right, put his chariot before Bhishma and Drona. Because Krishna knew Arjuna will be able to fight with everybody as a Bhishma and Drona. So he should not face problem tomorrow. So he showed the problem today. So sometime, even when we become God's devotee, we may say the problems are there. Lord is solving our problems. Lord is showing the problems, so we courageously solve those problems. See, it's not that life should be very comfortable without challenges. God gives us challenges to make us strong. For example, I give an example of a butterfly. See, there was one person, this butterfly was in a cocoon. You know, butterfly first is in a cocoon, then it struggled to come out of the cocoon, and that's a cow. So this person thought, "Arey, this butterfly is doing so much of endeavor. This butterfly is doing so much of endeavor. Let me cut the cocoon." This person cut the cocoon. The butterfly came out but could not fly. Why? Because when butterfly would force his wings out of the cocoon, that will send the flutes in the butterfly's wings, and that will make the wings strong so that butterfly can fly. But when butterfly did not struggle, what happened? Butterfly did not struggle. What happened due to that? It didn't have a strength. So sometimes the struggles will come in our life, but Lord has a purpose. He wants to bring us closer to Him in times of difficulties. He wants us to teach us lessons. He wants to teach us, grow ourselves when the difficulties come. So even after becoming a devotee of God, we will see difficulties, but we overcome those difficulties by taking shelter of God. So Krishna put Arjuna right in front of Bhishma and Drona. Krishna knew that he's not able to handle it, and that's what happened. But the beauty is, you may think, oh, Krishna is becoming a chariot driver of Arjuna. It may diminish Lord's glory. No. When Lord serves his devotee, his glory increases. This is the beauty of relationship. See, though Krishna is God, but he's becoming a humble servant of his devotees. He's becoming a humble servant of his devotees. Just think about it. How merciful he is. In fact, in South India, there was a Brahmana who was reading Bhagavad Gita. And that time Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, goes to this Brahmana and says, hey Gosai, you're so ecstatic reading Bhagavad Gita. And what had happened, he was not able to read properly. He was not able to pronounce Sanskrit properly. He was able to have a problem in pronouncing Sanskrit. But Krishna is asking, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking, are you reading it? And there were other scholars who were making fun of him. But you know what does Brahmana say? Actually, I don't know how to read Bhagavad Gita. My guru told him, so I'm reading it. But when I read Gita, मैं भगवान कृष्ण को देखता हूँ कि कैसे वो भगवान भक्त वात्सल्यता में अर्जुन के सारथी बन गए हैं, अर्जुन के सारथी बन के उनको डायरेक्ट कर रहे हैं। जब मैं ये देखता हूँ तो मेरे आंखों में से आंसू आते हैं कि ये भगवान अपने भक्त से कितना प्रेम करते हैं, भगवान भक्त के लिए कितना एक्सटेंड करते हैं, भक्ति की क्या पावर है, वो देख के मुझे आंसू आ रहे। तब उनको ये चैतन्य महाप्रभु बोलते हैं, ओ ब्राह्मण, तुमने ही वास्तव में भगवत गीता पढ़ना सीखा है। क्यों? तुमने उसको मन को समझ लिया है कि भगवान का दिल क्या है, भगवान का हार्ट क्या है, तुम उसको समझ गए हो। एंड दैट्स द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग what Krishna what we understand about Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is not to learn about scholarship. It's to learn through devotion, through understanding, mercy. So as we keep going through those 18 chapters, you will see that transformation happening one after another. So it's an 18-day journey, and we need that patience and think. Now, what happens when Arjuna gets victory? So Arjuna sees all kinds of relatives. And okay, now the word Achyuta. See, there are many names of Krishna you will find. Achyuta, Madhusudana, Harisudana. So all this have very different meanings. How this different names are coming. So Achyuta means infallible. So Lord Krishna is Achyuta. He's infallible because he never fails to save his devotees. He does not hesitate to carry out the order of Arjuna as a charioteer. Still, his supreme position was unchallenged. He never fails in affection for his devotees. Is Achyuta. And why Madhava, the husband of goddess of fortune? Why Madhusudana, who killed the demon Madhu, and similarly he'll kill the demons of doubts of Arjuna. And the relationship between Lord and his devotee is very, very sweet. Devotee wants to serve the Lord, Lord wants to serve the devotee. And here if we see, Arjuna becomes overwhelmed. And Arjuna gives 5 reasons why I will not fight. And these 5 reasons are very, very important. And Arjuna was actually stressed, dried up, and think. Now, what are the 5 reasons which Arjuna gave? Anyone would like to say what are the 5 reasons that Arjuna gave for not fighting? You can write in the chats. Whatever you know the reasons there. So the first reason Arjuna says, relatives. Compassion for relatives. They are my relatives. How can I kill them? And not one relative. All relatives of Arjuna was present. Bhishma was a grandfather who took care of Arjuna in absence of Pandu. Dronacharya was his teacher. Then Duryodhana and others were Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana and others were relatives. Then there were Satyaki and others who were also there. So all relatives were there. How can I kill my relatives there? Second argument which Arjuna poses is no enjoyment. देखो, person enjoys thing, his wealth, when relatives are alive. If relatives only will die, then how will I enjoy? How will I enjoy? Right? Then third, yes, ऐसे राज्य का क्या फायदा? So very nice answers devotees are giving, and different devotees are giving the third reason Arjuna says, I will get sin. If I kill Bhishma and Drona, I will get sin. Fourth reason he says, okay, if I kill, many men will die. Then women will become widow. If women become widow, who will take care of them? Then there will be one Shankara will get produced because there are no proper progeny. Anybody will produce in anybody thing, and then the people, horrible population will not be taken care. Then the religious functions will stop in a community because elders may die. So even the whole tradition will become vulnerable because so many people are dying. And fifth, Krishna, I'm unable to decide. You tell me. You tell me what to do, Krishna. And that was Arjuna's thought, the five reasons there. And tomorrow we'll be seeing what answers Krishna gives to all these five reasons of Arjuna to refuse fighting. And he's feeling stress. Limbs of my body are quivering, mouth is drying up, my whole body is trembling, hairs are standing on end, my Gandiva ball is sleeping, my skin is burning, I'm unable to stand here any longer, I'm forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only cause of misfortune, opposite result of Krishna, killer of the demon, Keshi. I don't even want kingdom. I don't want, there's no pleasure without relative. See, Arjuna is a very soft-hearted person, right? He's feeling. If we slay such aggressors, sin will overcome us. This greedy man see no fault, but we can see the fault. And then he's give the whole thing, the destruction of the dynasty, family tradition stop, religion increases, women become polluted, and unwanted progeny by mixture of caste. And it's very, very scientific because if you see, the thieves are not born in good families. The rowdies are not born in good families. Rowdies are born in maybe rich families, but families which have not taken care of the children. There generally. So therefore, the family culture is very, very important to have a good population. And that's what he's explaining whole thing. Yeah. And proper rights, only a kind, soft-hearted, and non-violent person like Arjuna is fit to receive self-knowledge. And then Krishna says, and tomorrow we'll see. Actually, Krishna has not spoken a single word in the first chapter of Gita. Krishna has spoken first chapter of Gita. But only when Arjuna surrenders, please give me knowledge. Then Krishna starts speaking. So when we approach a guru, I want to know spiritual knowledge, then we start understanding the knowledge of Gita, the spiritual knowledge, and we'll see tomorrow how beautifully the second chapter of Gita is so amazing, so many lessons, and it's one of the biggest chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So we may go a little over time, but let's see, or push it on there. So every day I'm planning to finish one chapter of Bhagavad Gita there, and with many nice things. And you can write your questions on chat. Is the time for question answers? And I want to launch a poll before we begin the question answers. So you will have to answer. Why did not Krishna stop the war as he is the Supreme Lord? So please, all of you answer this poll. And others, you can also write your questions in the chat. I will choose the questions and answer them. Because there are around many devotees, it's difficult to pick up the people, but seeing your question on the chat, I can pick up the questions and answer some of the questions. And Okay, so many of you have written. Okay, so most people have written to establish dharma through this war. So I'm ending the poll now. So the results show 99% with this. Okay, I hope you're able to see. So 99% said to establish dharma through this war. And to rule the whole world is the wrong answer, because Krishna, even after better, he didn't rule the whole world. It was Yudhishthira who was ruling the whole world. And Krishna remained a cousin of Yudhishthira. Okay, thank you. So now, yeah, in the meanwhile, we're having question answers. You will get the quiz link there. Vipin will send a quiz link. You want to make any announcement, Vipin Prabhu, or should I continue the question answers? You're muted.
Okay, yeah, just a couple of announcements. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your enlightening session on the first chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It was really amazing. There's a couple of announcements for all the devotees. So the first announcement is from tomorrow onwards, we will be having registration over Zoom. So please ensure that you sign in Zoom. So we will be sending you the details. The link to be at which you will join, we will be sending it to you. There you have to sign in, okay? So just ensure that you sign in a couple of minutes before. 10 minutes before 8 p.m., we will be starting the kirtans for all the devotees to join. Secondly, this is a certified course. So those devotees who are able to complete, it's very nice if you can complete all 18, but for the criteria for the certificate is minimum 12 sessions and 12 quizzes. So we will be sending the quiz link here in the chat box. I've already sent it, so you can start answering the quiz. So this is the quiz link in the chat box. And any questions you have, you can always write in the chat, and then we will answer. So thank you very much. So now we'll over to the questions. Hare Krishna.
So I'll try to answer whatever could best, and you can keep writing your questions over here. Okay, so the why the fight happened, which hell further we can do, but these are our people, so we should not happen. So Krishna answered those questions in the second chapter. So we'll see tomorrow. Okay. Does any other forms of life on the earth needs a God? No. Every form of life needs God, but humans are special to communicate with God or to understand about God. Like, for example, we are having the sessions on Zoom for human beings. Can we call animals for understanding Bhagavad Gita? No. So that's what the humans are special. But so therefore, Krishna has given, the God has given a special to human beings over animals. So you should use this human form of life. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Now attain this human form of life. I should use this to understand about God. Why Hanumanji help? Hanumanji is a devotee of Lord Ram. So where is Krishna? Hanumanji is also there, and that's why Hanumanji is helping. Thank you, Shikha. Yeah. Okay. So there's some question of creation we will take in the 7th and 8th chapter, where Bhagavad Gita actually talks about creation. How do we recognize that a situation is a test and respond to it appropriately? Yeah, see, every situation is coming is a test, but how do you respond it may be different in different situations. There, it may not be the same there. Sometimes we may have to tolerate, or sometimes we may have to do the needful to save in the problems. And I hope as you, so, and you have to see what is bringing positivity in you. If tolerating is making more positivity, or doing the needful is making more positivity. So that you have to see situation to situation. And as you learn this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita over this 18 days, I hope you will get much better idea of this question. Okay. Why evil people do not suffer while the righteous one always suffer? So yes, so in the 3rd and 4th session, I talk about karma. That how karma is not specific to one life, but it is specific to multiple lifetimes. So what I have done bad in the last life, I may not know today. And that's what is hitting me today. So today I may be doing good, but I see bad is happening to me because I'm exhausting the past bad in my past life, what I have done. And how this logic goes and applies, we'll discuss this in a great Gita. The third chapter talks about the karma, and there is no injustice in God's order. See, there may be injustice in the government, in the court, right? Somebody may give a ghost bribe, and then the justice may not come in favor. But there is no bribe in God's justice. The God has full justice, and that's why Bhagavad Gita helps us to understand. But the beauty is when we take shelter of God, we pray to God. God can even forgive us for the bad acts we have done. So Bhagavad Gita in one hand says that why bad is happening to me because I have done some bad. But then you don't have to keep blaming yourself, I did a bad thing and this is all happening to me. Bhagavad Gita at the same time talks about that if you take to Krishna, take to God consciousness, the God has a power to forgive even the past bad you have done. Like president can forgive a person even a person is guilty of a murder. President has a power. If president has a power in the Indian constitution, why can't God has a power to forgive us when we approach him? And that's the beauty of Bhagavad Gita. And we learn how to do work in this world so we do not do any bad activity to bring suffering for us in the future. And that's how Bhagavad Gita teaches us. Yes, you will get recorded lectures. Vipin Bihari Prabhu will send. Yes. What Krishna showed, the universal form to Arjuna in the 11th chapter is different. It is much more elaborate. In fact, all the celestial things come at one place in that universal form. And whereas what Krishna showed the universal form to Duryodhana just for a time being, a little bit of that he showed, not everything. How to differentiate between true and fake religion Kali Yuga? By the Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So any religion is there should be based on Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. It should be based on scriptures. Like, see, you go for schools to study. So you have we don't go to any college. We know the authentic college. And there are authentic teachers, there are authentic books. Same way, for a spiritual knowledge to be right, you need an authentic institution which is coming in parampara, like ISKCON, or many other Vaishnava sampradayas, right? Like Sri Sampradaya, Mother Sampradaya, and then we are Brahmada, Goddess Sampradaya. The books like Bhagavad Gita, and the sages and the devotees who are coming the parampara directly coming from Lord Sri Krishna. So I will talk more about in the fourth chapter to understand how to differentiate between the true and the fake religion. Though 1.3 shlokas is spoken by Duryodhana, but it's Sanjay speaking. So Dhritarashtra Uvacha, then Sanjay Uvacha. So Sanjay is narrating to Dhritarashtra what Duryodhana is saying, and that's what Sanjay Uvacha is there. So when you have difficulties about career, you should take some right guidance from people who have experience. Okay, can you help us to imagine the Lord and Arjuna in first chapter? So you can understand that, see, Krishna is smiling, but Arjuna's emotions are quite, he is going through stress, he's going, what should I do, indecision, he's completely confused. And like that, sometimes we are confused in our life, but the knowledge of Gita can enlighten us. Okay, one question. Why dharma cannot be established with discussion and reasoning? Why war? So if you see, Krishna actually tried reasoning. Krishna went as a Shanti Doot to there. But what happened on the other hand, Duryodhana tried to capture Krishna only. So when people had become mischievous like Duryodhana, the war was inevitable. And it was for the purpose of establishing dharma. And you know what happened? Even people who died on the battlefield, by seeing Krishna in the time of death, they went to the Lord's support or they attained liberation. So which also we'll discuss over time. And what will happen after the war when Yudhishthira becomes a king? Whole world will become like a Satyuga. Everybody was happy. There were sufficient rains were coming. Nobody fell sick. During Yudhishthira Maharaj's ruling after the war, nobody fell sick. Why? Because when a leader is Krishna conscious, when a leader is a devotee of the Lord, whole praja is happy. And Yudhishthira was following the government the way God will do it. No, Ram Rajya, he said. So Yudhishthira established a Ram Rajya. And in a Ram Rajya, everybody is happy. Okay. Any other questions? I hope I have answered the most of the questions?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
So thank you very much for this wonderful discussion. And we would like to thank all the wonderful devotees who joined in today evening. And we will continue tomorrow at 8 p.m. sharp. The second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, contents of Gita summarized, getting the fortune to hear again from His Grace, Vrajakrishna Prabhuji. Thank you all.